Morning Flosstube. It is Saturday morning and it is the 21st of September. We are having a catch up around the house day with a couple of errands thrown in, but I needed to get back to you for several reasons. Two exciting ones. I had promised to talk to you about why I started this channel 2 years ago, and then I have a finish. Do you believe it? There is a finish at this house. So lots of exciting things to share today. I also have a Save the Stitches that my husband found at a thrift store that is just amazing, and some progress on whips. So I hope your weekend is going well, and I hope this will give you a brief time of relaxing, maybe working on your stitching, and then once I finish this video, I will hit the ground running again with some housework and a couple of errands, one of which is to visit my dear mom, as I try to do each Saturday and or Sunday. So 2 years ago, we were preparing for our youngest daughter, who is not the youngest child, but she's the youngest daughter, to move to Edinburgh, Scotland for graduate school. And although I had sent other children off to college, off to music camps for the summer, off to study abroad for the summer, this hit particularly hard because it was going to be for a full year. She was fortunate to obtain her master's in a calendar year because of the way it's structured over there. We had been to Edinburgh. We knew where she was going to live. We knew where the college was. We felt, my husband particularly, that it was the best thing for her. But I don't mind admitting that I grieved and I worried. And the whole time we were in Edinburgh, checking it out before she made her final decision, I couldn't stop crying. I couldn't visualize this young woman by herself, knowing no one that far away from home. But I needed to trust and know that her Heavenly Father was watching and was with her and that she was not alone. Well, you know that the story had a happy ending because she finished. We went for her beautiful graduation. She is now teaching art history as a college instructor and beginning to live her dream. But she and I had the conversation before she left that, that I should find something to do that was fun other than my work and my stitching and my grandchildren, that would kind of take my mind off the fact that she was gone and that she was so far away. So we threw out the idea of doing Flosstube videos, and she kept saying, "You've just got to do it. Let me help you while I'm still here, and then you can go on your own. And I'm going to watch. If you don't have another viewer, I'm going to watch." So we jumped in, and I think you remember, if you've watched my other videos, that I often would refer to my IT helper or my daughter who would show me what I was doing wrong. So there's the story of why Magnolia Nana got started. And I must tell you that as hard as that year was for me, and probably for her, we both grew. I know she grew in leaps and bounds, and we still have a Flosstube channel, and I'm still sharing my handwork, and I've made so many precious friends, and I've not met you face to face, but I feel as though I know you. So thank you for your support on this journey. Where the channel will go, I really don't know. Things are super busy right now. There's not as much stitching time. Everything is calling and pulling me in different directions, but I do feel that I need to keep it going. Maybe not every other week, maybe not once a month, but we'll see where it goes. I just want to thank you for the encouragement you've given. I want to thank her for all the encouragement she has shared. And so I am sharing today, and I believe I shared this before. before it was finished. But this was the little pillow that I made for her before she left. This is a Lizzie Kate design. She believed she could, so she did. And this really speaks to what she was able to do. This went in her suitcase. When I visited, it was on her bookshelf. And every time my husband goes into her room, he looks at this and it's one of his favorite pieces, as simple and small as it is, because it speaks of this daughter and her determination and her focus. And it just, we've loved it. So I knew you would appreciate that small finish that holds in it so much emotion and so much parental pride. So there's that story. Now the finish. Oh guys, this finish made me so happy last weekend. I wanted to come share it with you then, but we had other family commitments that made that impossible. You remember that I had a pair of historic house designs that my husband had found on eBay, and I hope I brought the other one here, Delta Needlecrafts. And the one I have finished is the home Montaigne from Natchez, Mississippi. And you remember I fumed and fussed about the greens, getting me all confused, and then the error in the counting on the door. And so many of you were so encouraging and just said, fudge it, finish it, no one will ever know. So except for you all who have watched my Flosstube, no one who comes into my home and sees this hanging is going to be told anything about the fudging that went on the porch of Montaigne. But beautiful, beautifully relaxing stitches on 14 count Aida, which was provided in the package, in the kit. And I think the favorite thing to me about this was first the color and the way the combinations were designed, but second, the stitching in hand sewing method on the 14 count Aida, which is, I think, my most relaxing way to stitch. So we will be getting a couple of frames, one for this one and then one for its sister piece, which I'm about to show you. And then we will hang these hopefully in our living space or our living room. So the sister piece, you know me, I had to just pull it right out and start it, is the house called Longwood, which is another famous Natchez historic home. And if you'll notice at the bottom of this design, it is stitched, the title Longwood. I chose not to put Montaigne on my design. I didn't really want it there. There's no need for it. So I won't put Longwood there either. I just think it kind of messed up the symmetry once it was framed. But let me show you my start on Longwood. This is for now my I'm tired, I don't want to stitch anything else, or take me to work stitch. So you see the tree and the little dome of the house and a little bit of sky. This will be another full coverage. It is 5 by 7, just like the other one. And I did organize this one more thoroughly than I did Montaigne. So each color has its own little Ziploc bag. And I put the symbol and I put the number of the color. I forgot to tell you on Montaigne that I did have to pull a couple of colors from my stash to finish. I ran out of a couple of threads, but fortunately I had some old DMC that had been gifted to me, and those colors were in there. Thank goodness. So this one is so well organized that I will not have any confusion about my greens or my grays. So fun. And I do have a viewer, or maybe it's an Instagram follower, I need to go back and look, who would like to stitch these. So I am going to pass the stash. And as soon as I can, if you are a viewer, remind me. If not, I'm going to have to look back and see who wanted to stitch this, because this stitcher grew up in Natchez, Mississippi. So that would be awesome. Okay, what next? My long-term project, and you've seen this so much, you have it memorized. Summer Quakers by Rosewood Manor, Karen Kluba. The last time I was on here, I was fuming because I thought I had a counting error, and I thought I was going to have to put, where is it? I thought I was going to have to put something else right here where that little tiny motif is. So I had stopped working on it. Well, one night I said, nope, got to see what's going on and move forward. Well, I haven't moved too far forward, but there was no counting error. So if you can see, that went right in with no problem. So I was then able to come down and start the very large motif that's going to fill, oh my goodness, a big part of this fabric. And now that I have it on the hoop, you can't see the whole design. You do see my new needle minder, which I'm loving. But the flower that you see here, this will be a very large motif, and that's where I'll be working now that all of that is finished. So it fit in there beautifully. I don't know why I thought it was not correct. Had I done the little butterfly when I saw you last? I don't remember. But next time I bring this out, I'll have it out of my sitting hoop, and you'll be able to see the whole design. It is still a favorite. I love it. And you know I've raved about every aspect of that project. Okay, let me see. The Holy Family project, which I had talked to you about, has not been out to play in weeks. But this is an old Dimensions kit that I ordered from eBay because Connie G Stitches is stitching it and definitely enabled me. It is gorgeous. And I have not put any more stitches in, but I had to show you that I got it very well organized so that I would not have issues with it. And I will show you where I was because there's no progress, but for those who might not have seen it. And it always messes up the light. So this is Mary's halo and her robe, and that's all I've done. It just hasn't come out. Not because I don't love it, but more of a time factor. But I didn't want there to be any issue with colors and identifying colors. So I did go to Hobby Lobby and bought the project cards. And I've labeled every color. And when I finish with a thread, but I need to keep up with it, I've just been tying it back on there. I think the Ziploc bags might have been a better way to do it, but for some reason I just did this. Now, don't our brains work funny sometimes? But anyway, we have two beautiful cards for Holy Family. I guess the main reason I didn't do the Ziploc bags was I felt that these would not be as easy to get the colors confused. I think that was my logic. And the nice thing about these is there is a little magnet if you want to just pop your needle down and you aren't using a needle minder. So I'm thrilled to have those organized, and this will be getting some more love very soon because it's a lovely project. You also remember that I have a project I was trying to finish for my oldest daughter's birthday. And the only reason this got put down was because I picked Rosewood Manor back up and found my problem. I don't remember what I showed you in my last video, but this is where we are with Butterfly Dream. And I still love everything about this. I know what it was. I had to frog some in the small butterfly, but we have it now. This is also an Ada project. It came, of course, all in a kit. But we're plugging forward on this. Bless her heart, it may be a Christmas gift. But she's a busy mama and she understands. The colors make me so happy. Now the butterfly, this big butterfly is finished. Except for his back stitching and his antenna. Or antennae, which is appropriate. So I love the way his wings look, or her wings. And I've said before, this is finished except for the back stitching. This is finished. This has a few more small stitches to put in before the back stitching. And then we have a butterfly here and a flower here. But this is dimensions. It is not dimensions gold. It's just a small dimensions. And it is still available. I think it's a newer kit. But you see what's left to do there at the bottom. And the two butterflies. Very happy stitching. Happy colors. All right. And is that it? My Save the Stitches? And you can go about your business, as can I. My husband, as I told you, will pop in a couple of thrift stores in our city. And when he came home with this one, I was just blown away. Some of you have stitched on silk gauze before. The tiny, tiny, it's almost a petty point. And of course, we're going to have a nice glare. This piece was for sale in the thrift store. Oh, come on, glare. Look at those pansies. Let me see if I can move your camera a bit here. I don't want to make you dizzy. There we are. So it is tiny, tiny stitches on silk gauze. I've been trying to decide if the thread is silk. I don't know. It may just be DMC. But oh, what a treasure. I am thrilled to have this. We've already hung it in our dining room. I just wish there were some way you could get an idea of how tiny those stitches are. But if you've ever looked at silk gauze, you understand, because you know they are tiny and it's beautifully stitched. Now the frame, as you can see, is older. This wood here, and then I don't know if that's like some kind of resin, the gold part. But we're just going to display it as it is for now because it is so sweet, and this does match the color of our dining room furniture. Just a treasure, and it was on sale at the thrift store for $2. How can we not save the stitches when something like this is available? And someone's family apparently didn't want to save that. So as stitchers, we can save those stitches. I will let you go, and I appreciate all your attention today. I will look forward to your comments and to your suggestions, but you know that I'm going to be busy with Summer Quakers, with the Holy Family, with Butterfly Dream, and I didn't even bring in my Mora Blackburn sampler. It has not gotten much love, but it needs some love. Also, my Scottish sampler that Mary Cat Stitches gave me. I did do some work on that border. That was some more mindless stitching. And I need to pull out Mary Queen of Scots. So now that fall is creeping in, I will pull that back out and enjoy, hopefully, my red floss choice and get some more of Mary's motifs finished. But thank you again for all you put up with as you listen and share with me, and thank you for coming back. If you've not subscribed, I'd be honored if you would, and we will be back soon with more progress and probably a couple of books, because I know that I have completed 2 by the same author that I would like to talk to you about, and I'm reading another one, so we'll have books next time. Happy September. Let's visit again soon.